The village we live.
I live in a small village called Greenfield. It is located in the heart of the countryside, surrounded by lush green fields and tall trees. Our village is a peaceful and serene place, far away from the hustle and bustle of the city. The village has a population of around 500 people, and everyone knows each other. The villagers are friendly and welcoming, always ready to lend a helping hand. I have lived in Greenfield my whole life, and I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. One of the most interesting things about our village is its history. According to legend, Greenfield was founded over 500 years ago by a group of travelers who were passing through the area. They were so enchanted by the natural beauty of the place that they decided to settle down and make it their home. Over the years, the village has grown and developed, but it has managed to maintain its rustic charm. The houses in Greenfield are made of stone and wood, giving them a quaint and homely feel. The streets are narrow and winding, lined with colorful flowers and greenery. One of my favorite places in the village is the village square. It is a large open space in the center of the village, surrounded by shops and cafes. The square is always bustling with activity, especially on market days when vendors from neighboring villages come to sell their wares. Another interesting feature of Greenfield is its wildlife. The village is home to a variety of animals, including rabbits, squirrels, and birds. In fact, we have a resident family of hedgehogs who live in the garden behind my house. It's always a treat to see them scurrying around at night. But despite its idyllic setting, Greenfield is not without its mysteries. There have been rumors for years about a hidden treasure that is buried somewhere in the village. According to legend, a wealthy merchant, who lived in Greenfield many years ago, buried his fortune somewhere in the village before he died. The location of the treasure has never been discovered, but many villagers believe that it is still out there, waiting to be found. I have always been fascinated by this story, and I have spent many hours exploring the village in search of clues. I have searched the woods, the fields, and even the old abandoned buildings on the outskirts of the village. So far, I have not found anything, but I am convinced that the treasure is still out there somewhere. In addition to the mystery of the buried treasure, there is also a legend about a ghost that haunts one of the old houses in the village. According to the story, a young girl died in the house many years ago, and her spirit still lingers there. Some villagers claim to have seen her ghostly figure wandering through the house at night. I have never seen the ghost myself, but I have heard many spooky stories about it from my friends and neighbors. Some people believe that the ghost is trying to communicate with the living, while others think that it is simply a figment of their imagination. Despite these mysteries, life in Greenfield is peaceful and simple. The villagers are hard-working and self-sufficient, growing their own food and taking care of each other. We have a strong sense of community here, and everyone looks out for one another. Overall, I feel incredibly lucky to live in such a beautiful and fascinating place. Greenfield may be small, but it is full of surprises and secrets waiting to be uncovered. I can't wait to see what other mysteries this village holds in store for me. My breakfast adventure. Every morning, I wake up to the sound of my alarm clock ringing. I groggily get out of bed and head to the kitchen to start my day with a delicious breakfast. But today was different. Today, my breakfast adventure began. I opened the fridge and found that there were only a few ingredients left. I had some eggs, bread, and a few vegetables. I decided to make an omelette with some toasted bread on the side. I started by chopping up some onions, tomatoes, and bell peppers. I then cracked a couple of eggs into a bowl and whisked them together with some salt and pepper. I heated up a pan and added a little bit of oil. Once the oil was hot, I added the chopped vegetables and sautéed them until they were soft and fragrant. I then poured the egg mixture over the vegetables and let it cook for a few minutes until the bottom was set. Now came the tricky part, flipping the omelette. I took a deep breath and quickly flipped the omelette over with a spatula. Success! The other side was now cooking nicely. I let it cook for another minute or so before sliding it onto a plate. I toasted some bread and spread some butter on it. I sat down at the table with my breakfast in front of me. I took a bite of the omelette and savored the flavors of the vegetables and eggs. It was delicious. But my breakfast adventure didn't end there. As I was eating, I noticed something moving on my plate. It was a tiny caterpillar. I was shocked and didn't know what to do. I carefully picked it up with a fork and put it on a napkin. I couldn't believe that I had almost eaten it. I quickly finished my breakfast and decided to take the caterpillar outside. I walked to the garden and found a nice spot for it to crawl around. I watched as it slowly made its way towards a leaf. I felt relieved that I had saved it from being eaten. My breakfast adventure had been full of surprises. From the limited ingredients in the fridge to the unexpected guest on my plate, it had been an exciting start to my day. I realized that sometimes, even the simplest things like making breakfast can turn into an adventure. In conclusion, my breakfast adventure had taught me to be more mindful of what I eat and to appreciate the little things in life. I will never forget the tiny caterpillar that had joined me for breakfast and how it had made my day more interesting. If you like this story, I encourage you to like and share with your loved ones and stay tuned for more. Keep learning with Afsara English. Thank you.